Why 3 steps everyone uses to navigate obstacles prevents trauma. What social justice could learn from preventing growing pains. As parents, we're responsible for steering our children the best way we can. Our goal is to help them become independent, successful adults. Yet, that's not always easy. It's especially hard during a pandemic and with a lack of perspectives. Or, when all the media spotlights are focused on traumatic events. After all, kids don't come with instruction manuals, and we can't turn them on and off like a computer. So, we need practical views to go with these flows and do our best along with them, or even sometimes against them. Below are 3 steps that parents everywhere are using to prevent growing pains. One common complaint that parents have is that children won't get out of bed in the morning. Parents and kids need to prepare their clothes, their backpacks, ensure that they eat breakfast, brush their teeth, wipe their faces, and finally leave home in time. But parents also want to give more responsibility to their kids. So, they give them tasks. But these never seem to be completed. Here's how parents and children can get past obstacles together. 1. Look at the big picture. Let's say that your child takes too much time to get out of the house in the morning. Instead of focusing solely on one aspect, try to look at all the other things children are now doing that they weren't doing a few months ago. Just because they haven't grown enough in that one area of responding quicker, it doesn't mean that they aren't developing in other areas like becoming more computer savvy. 2. Take another perspective. A story changes depending on who is telling it. It's all a matter of perspective. Just like life experiences are different depending on who is living them. When we are living our day-to-day lives, it may be a bit hard to look at things from a different perspective. We get caught up in the moment. But you can be sure that it won't hurt if you try. In the business world, this other perspective is called customer discovery. Or, customer journey. You see, from St. Louis University to Venture Cafe, no one can help a new startup company or entrepreneur develop unless they first prove a need exists for their product or service. A business is irrelevant, dead upon arrival, or out of business from the start if it doesn't study other perspectives. One of the things you can do when your child is late or won't answer, again, is to look at him or her and imagine a situation where he or she wasn't your child but a friend of your children instead. Would that situation look different? What if your neighbor's child didn't answer you one time? Simple deep breathing exercises can also help in these forming and storming situations. Yes, your child, or you, may continue running late or not responding no matter what happens. We can't be everything to everyone. But that's not a huge obstacle. Getting past those obstacles happens every day with just a little patience, kindness, perspective, and clarity. 3. Led by example. Children naturally see their parents as their role models. Even if they might not voice it or be aware of it. And more than the words we say, our behaviors and actions reflect in their developments. It's that incredibly important for our children. It keeps them safe and gives them that feeling of belonging. How do you practice tying your shoe, trying a new haircut, or driving a car? By practicing, leading by example, of course. Try to practice the phases of getting past obstacles in the morning. Researchers know that 70% of adults experience at least one traumatic event in their lifetime. 20% of people who experience a traumatic event will develop PTSD. But 80% to get past them. Robin Williams was one of the funniest people in the world. Yet, there was some invisible obstacle that he could get past and unfortunately took his own life. We call those future stumbling blocks, or post-trauma. Yet, we'll never hear about most people who get past even the worst obstacles. The point is, parents and children all make the mistake of looking past issues. And those invisible issues while norming are important to clarify too. The goal is for families to learn from each other's experiences along the way and grow stronger and intertwined like a vine. Even though everyone flows in different directions, a healthy bond can remain. If you are someone who forgets about things frequently, then develop a method to deal with outside changes. You may want to use funny reminders, a to-do list, notes, school calendars, work calendars, or even social media notices to discover changes from each other's status. Together it's like imaginary rubber bands because we know we each have to be flexible but still need togetherness too. So, the fun really could be how many obstacles we can flex with inside one goal of getting out the door in the morning. But sometimes, we may still forget things. So, what do we do when we forget something really important? First, we can try to manage what we do have. We may not have been thinking when we forgot something important. And second, realize we're not alone. People forget stuff every day. There are good tools and good people out there to help prevent it from happening again. That's an attitude our children need to understand. Consistently leading by example ensures that they will likewise hold things together. They'll get to the point of working through situations to eventually performing successful solutions all on their own. It is like an early retirement present.